And the next movie we're talking about, yeah, there's a lot of sex in it, and that is going to be for Pillion. Pillion is a movie here starring Alexander Skarsgård. People might know Alexander Skarsgård there. He's one of the Skarsgård brothers. They're becoming a force in Hollywood. I want to see a death match: the Skarsgårds versus the Hemsworth. Who would win? Who would come out the master race? I want to see. So you got Alex, people might know he was in things like True Blood before. So big time actor there. Then you also have Harry Millen, who people might know he was the asshole cousin in Harry Potter. He was also in Queen's Gambit, playing an asshole in that. Here he's not so much of an asshole in this. He's a guy, very meek, kind of quiet, shy, reserved kind of guy. But he wants to go out there. He wants to meet people, and he also sings in a barbershop quartet with his father there. And his parents are very supportive of him. They know he's gay, so it's not like a story of like, oh, I have to hide, who I am and hide it from my family and my friends. No, it seems like he, everybody knows that he's gay and he, dates men. But he just hasn't found that person yet. It seems like from the movie, it's suggesting that he's had maybe some bad rocky relationships before and is maybe, kind of worried about getting out there again until he meets a guy in Alexander Skarsgård who plays Ray, and they start entering a Dom sub relationship where Alexander Skarsgård is the Dom. And then you have Harry Millen, who's the sub in this. And what that dynamic looks like is basically he just tells him what to do all the time, every time. He has complete autonomy over him, makes him sleep on the floor while he sleeps in the bed, Alexander Skarsgård. So that's kind of the dynamic of their relationship. And it's kind of just exploring that throughout. And you mentioned the sex in it. So yes, it is two men. It is a gay relationship. You're going to see a lot of explicit sex in here. If that bothers you, then obviously this is not the movie for you if you have an issue with that. So that's a thing. But really, I mean, seeing the movie, I mean, it's kind of just about boundaries. It's about, this guy learning, because this is his first time entering a relationship like this. And you could apply this dynamic to even a straight relationship, a guy that's with a girl that's, he thinks is out of his league, and maybe he's kind of going to be a little bit of a doormat to her and, kind of going to let her kind of walk all over him because he thinks like, well, I can't get better than this. And even you get that sense of the character Harry Millen's plays Colin of like, having a guy, which everybody remarks in the movie, like, holy shit, it's Alexander Skarsgård. Like, this dude's fucking gorgeous. Like, how did you get a guy like this? It's like, and he, he's like smiling ear to ear, like, yeah, I'm lucky, man. So, that's kind of with him. And the dynamic between the two of them is really great to see it and how it kind of plays out there. And to see kind of the ups and downs of it. I liked watching that. And then you see like, this type of relationship, would you be okay with it? You know what I mean? Outside looking in, is this something that you're into? Because you have a situation with his parents where his mother is in this, who's dying. She has cancer, where, she's like, she finally meets Ray. And she goes like, well, I don't really like you or like the way you're speaking to him. And, he goes, well, it's not for you to like, Ray says that. And it kind of just opens up, like, they're both kind of correct in their own way of like, you have a person who's a full adult and obviously should be able to make their own decisions, but how much of, people who do explore this type of relationship, especially from a Dom perspective, use it to, control others and to enact their own fantasies and twisted kind of nature. I do hear about those type of things in BDSM Dom sub type relationship of you have men who maybe will take advantage of that, amongst women in that type of space. So yeah, I mean, so I liked it, this character who, exploring like what he likes, what he doesn't like, and kind of coming out, not of the closet, but just out of his shell there, I would say, and seeing kind of like what is for him and what is love to him. And I thought that was kind of really well and beautifully told in this movie there. And I don't know, you say, I know you didn't see this movie, but have you heard things about it?
I've heard I haven't really heard much about this.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And from my understanding, this movie is reflecting on like a subculture within the kind of queer community because like they're also bikers as well.
Mm.
So that also is like a major thing in this movie as well. There, yeah. So for me, I would give this movie a strong tune in. For me,
Hmm.
I'd give it a strong tune in for Pillion.
Yeah, I'm curious
Uh,
to check it out.
yeah.